just going to start it out.
Get me up the GGT boards.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Live from. You got to kick it
off.
Oh, you got to kick it off.
That's right. I got to fix that.
You're the.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Mechanics Institute Tuesday Night Marathon. And it just occurred to me that I have to update the Twitch. So I think it needs to say round 4. So I will do that as soon as I get off. But thank you, everyone, for joining us. I was just talking to Paul. The atmosphere is absolutely electric out there in the chess room. It's like a full house. We're going to have some great games, just people excited to play chess here in downtown San Francisco. Just the thing we need to sort of rehabilitate all the negativity that's going out in the world. You do it with finding ways to get people together safely and engaging. And that's what we're doing, and we're excited about it. We're proud of it. And thanks to all the people here that make it possible, like Grandmaster and 3-time U.S. champion Nick DeFermian, FIDE Master Paul Whitehead. The doctor is in, Judith Starry, playing an extra-rated game out there. And the whole team here at the Mechanics Institute, it's not even just us. It's, everyone involved in this place.
How many people are playing out there?
We got almost 80 people playing.
Wow.
80 people.
Wow.
So, super atmosphere. It's just fun. It's back. Chess is back. And not only that, look at this weekend. We have the J.J. Dolan Memorial Saturday, 4 rounds.
Who was J.J. Dolan?
Good question. Who is it?
Gosh, I'm going to have to look that one up.
Well, we're going to look that up. Actually, we're going to do a Facebook post about it on probably Thursday before the tournament. So that's a 1-day tournament. Saturday, and then on Sunday we're going to have championship quads, 3 p.m. Pacific. So our last quads had like 57 players, which is
That's crazy.
Insane. And then we have a Scholastic on Sunday morning right before the quad. So nonstop chess action here at the Mechanics Institute. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to FIDE Master Paul Whitehead, and I'm going to go make the correction on the Twitch channel site. Thanks, everyone.
Oh, that's great.
Okay, and if you didn't see who that was Abel Talamentes. If he didn't introduce himself, chess room director. Nick, I can't see you, but I know you're there. In fact,
I'm there on the Zoom.
On the Twitch, yeah. But that's okay. I can't see myself. I can't. There was a conversation about seeing yourself on Zoom and seeing yourself on while you're on Zoom and on Twitch, and if that was distracting or upsetting or disturbing to people. How do you feel about that, Nick? Do you watch yourself while you're commenting?
Generally not. You want a little feedback, but no, I don't.
How about to make sure you're aligned correctly in the frame?
Yes, that's what you want to know.
Right. Well, that I can't see now, so I have no idea. To me, I found that it's either way. Actually, if I'm on, then yes, I'll be looking sometimes at myself and the chessboard and you and blah 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 blah. But if I'm not there, I quickly don't even notice that I can't see anything. I'm just talking into the ether. I thought this was going to be might be a grandmaster draw. On board 1, we have FIDE Master Ezra Chambers versus International Master Elliot Winslow. Nick, this is the big draw tonight.
Yes, that's, and I wouldn't be surprised to draw, but Ezra's been winning, so
Elliot's black, and we have a Najdorf.
A good fighting game.
There's so many Najdorfs played at the Mechanics Institute by the top players. What's with that? Why is the Najdorf so popular?
Because we have a club that likes action chess.
Okay. Well, anyway, Is it? Do you call it a grandmaster draw if a FIDE master draws an international master? Say,
Absolutely, yes.
still a grandmaster draw. All right. So here we go. This is some, variation of the Sicilian. Now, my question, Nick, is how does Black know where to put the knight? D7 or C6 in these positions? That can
Kind
be
of like the wrong rook.
the
you know.
wrong knight.
Yeah, which square? It's you can jump out immediately to C6, but D7 may move to protect the D5 square. So it's those are the nuances that make you a great Najdorf player. And Elliot has played the Najdorf so long for so much. So he's the sort of teacher there at the Tuesday night marathon. And yes, to surpass Elliot, it's like Hans Niemann finally surpassed Elliot. And look where it's taken him. He became a grandmaster. He won the World Open. It's he's moved on. Now Ezra has become really good. There he is. He's playing Elliot, and so this is sort of an epic game.
Thank you. I can now see the chat on Twitch. And hi, Michael Walder. Gulko fan. Yeah. These are the two top ranked players in the tournament, and they're meeting in round 4. So, and let's see. Elliot has 2.5, and I'm not sure how many points Ezra has. Do you happen to know?
Doesn't Ezra have 3? I believe he has 3.
He might have a perfect. Yeah, it's cut off here anyway. But okay, so we have a typical Sicilian defense.
Hang on 1 minute.
What's that? Oh, okay. Well, while Nick goes back, we're going to quickly cycle through another one of the games. Another Najdorf, everybody. This is Nicholas Wang, whose birthday it is today, by the way. Happy birthday, Nicholas. He's on board 2. He's an expert, a young man. He's not as young as the other gentleman whose birthday it is today, which is Kevin's son. He's turning 9, and he's not on a DGT board. So, but we're going to wish him a happy birthday anyway. It's Kevin's son's birthday today, and Nicholas Wang. Nick.
2 great young players. So,
yeah. And so here's the Nicholas Wang, Sean Kelly game on board 2. And you know what, Nick? It's another Najdorf.
Okay. It's no wimpy chess in the mechanics.
A different variation. White plays F3, and the knight goes back to B3 instead. And of course H5, which would have been inconceivable back in our day, but now is just normal, right?
Yeah, to stop the G4 advance.
It was very rare to see H5 played, I think, back in the old days.
Oh, but now it's at least 20 years old, that move.
Right.
Strategically reasonable.
Knight D5. This is the modern way of playing this. The pawn
H5 move helps control the D5 square.
Right. Okay, yeah, that's a good way to look at it. And the pawn
I would just take with the knight on D5 to keep the keep bishops.
Okay.
But this is also played. It doesn't lose any time.
And then A5, that's interesting move. That's a strange move in this position.
Yeah,
it's a little bit.
Not sure I like that move.
Yeah, Black Okay. These moves seem reasonable. And now black has the idea of playing knight h5 and knight f4.
Yeah, I'm a little suspicious of black's position here.
I like this move f4, I think. Trying to open it up for the two bishops, maybe.
Yeah, this feels a little dicey for the black side. That pawn on h4 is advanced.
Interesting. And Michael Walter says that he likes Geary recommend. Is it Geary or Geary?
Well, Geary is.
Geary, like Geary Street in San Francisco.
I like that. Yeah.
Geary recommends knight takes and then bishop f5. So.
That was, yeah, again, a normal, even 20 years ago. Knight takes bishop f5.
All right, well, let's move on to the next game.
Look at this. Mike Walter says f4 looks bad. So
really?
He considers there's some tactical things, queen check, maybe knight e4. Michael always has a point to his moves. Additionally, that's a very nice move for the white side.
Huh. To me, it looks like the right move, but, you know, what do I know? Chess can be played in all kinds of different ways. That's the one thing I do know. So
people have different styles.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to move on to the next game, board 3. And this game, this is Nathan Fong versus Adam Stafford, and these players both have 2 points each. Nathan is far outrates his opponent, but Adam is a very much improving player. The old Nimzovich variation of the Sicilian Defense. You know, Nick, I think Nimzovich is haunting the Mechanics Institute Chess Club. Hi, Alexei. Everywhere we look, every time we're teaching a class or in Chess Cafe or something, there's always Nimzovich seems to be rearing his head.
Funny, he's gotten things named after him, so much attention. He wasn't world champion like Capablanca or Alyekin, but his name is all over the place.
Well, you know, they say every dog has had his day, and Nimzovich definitely had his day. He won a super grandmaster tournament in 1930. All of these players, you know, Bogolyubov and Nimzovich and the sort of the second tier players, they usually had at least one incredible result in their time.
Well, Nimzovich, he played even with Alyekin until about 1930. Lots of battles, they won some of the other. Then Alyekin became Superman, and he won 4 in a row against Nimzovich. He won this tournament in San Remo with 2 draws out of 15 games against the super grandmasters of the day.
Right, like a Bobby Fischer performance.
Yes.
Nimzovich is haunting the Mechanics Institute. Yeah. All right, so
we
let's
have to
see.
put up a picture of him, Alexei.
Okay, so let's take a look at this position. Which square should the knight go to? C7 or B6?
I would kind of guess C7.
That's where he went. Right? That way it can go to E6. D5. This is definitely a defense worth trying for black, you know, as a possibility. especially if you studied it a little bit.
Now, does
Have you seen any
Uh,
high-level games with the Nimzovich Open, Nimzovich lately?
it's not in fashion these days? No.
Speaking of high-level games, I was looking at the Meltwater tournament today, playing over a bunch of games from there, and that is hilarious, Nick. Oh my gosh. The Carlsen blundering his queen, and I mean, it's just um, uh, he lost 2 games to Artemiev that were just amazing, almost. Uh, and yet he's in second place to Nakamura, who's playing a fantastic tournament, being very solid and showing excellent technique in a couple of games. Even in these rapid games, you can sometimes admire the tremendous technique that these players have in technically winning positions and stuff like that. Nakamura played some beautiful, flawless, looked to me like flawless technical wins.
So, Paul, that tournament was supposed to be in San Francisco, but now Magnus is in Oslo, and I guess it's half online, is it? Or
Yeah,
do
something like that. I don't know. I can't keep track of the scoring and the the schedule. I mean, who knows? That they play 4 rapid games that count as 1 game or something like that, and then they play 2 5-minute games and then an Armageddon game. So you have to be a mathematician to keep up with the scoring.
but it's it was it 2 or 3 years ago where we had the chess league there down in the Fulton Foundry. The best chess players in the world live in San Francisco,
Right.
and I thought it was going to happen again with this Meltwater one, but the last minute change of the pandemic plans and
all right. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and so Magnus didn't come to San Francisco in the Mechanics Institute.
No. Does anybody know what happened with the chess league? I think that is a thing of the past. Sounds like. Do you know?
Yeah,
do you happen to know, Nick or Alexei? Anybody? U.S. chess, the chess league that was being held. All these. What's going on with that? I guess it turned into sort of a the pro chess league.
Yes, somehow it was going full steam, and then it sort of stopped.
I think the money got involved in it, and then it got kind of difficult to sort of control, maybe. What happened with the Pro Chess League? We were talking about the Pro Chess. I'm asking Abel here.
They're still going. There's a team from California that I think Stearman's a part of it.
So it's still going on. Did they make it kind of an amateur event rather than a like a big money thing with finals? And
not really an amateur. It's the other way around. Actually, they've made it where it's stronger players only now.
Only strong players, Nick. That means I'm completely disqualified.
You can't ever play for California. And they've eliminated city base, so now it's you represent a state.
I see.
Or a geographic.
Okay, area. So so it's on. Just in a
Alexei says
form.
the 2022 season is being planned.
How about that? Okay, they're back. So, what do you think of this position, Nick? Board 3.
Um,
Adam Stafford is one of these players that's improving by leaps and bounds, right? His rating may be 1665, but I think he's probably gained what? I don't know. I don't want to say for sure. Hundreds of rating points lately. Adam Stafford.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually should be a tough match for Nathan. But they're both on the UC Berkeley chess team.
Okay, so these are players
They
that
know each other very
that
well.
know each other from the Berkeley chess team, the winning Berkeley chess team, right?
Right. Yeah.
I'm having trouble keeping up with everything, all the events. I mean, it was just today that I looked at this Meltwater tournament. What do you think's going on here? It's starting to get tactical. Queen b4, knight d2.
I like this about Nathan. For good or bad, he goes for bishop f4. That's the pressure move.
Yeah, you got to play
Hitting the
that.
queen, the knight. So queen b4 check. e2 pawn is hanging and things. This is going to be an action game.
Yep,
so.
I like it. I like it too. However, you got to be nervous. If this is a book opening, and Black has studied this, because it looks likely that this is some kind of theory or close to it. You might worry if you're white here.
You might worry if you're black too.
Yeah,
Like
that's true.
Mike Wilder says, queen b4 check, and I'm wondering about the aggressive knight c3. Queen takes b2.
Right, we're getting some technical assistance here from the multitasking chess room director slash
nothing. That's it.
slash OBS expert slash Twitch expert, DGT board expert, and the list goes on and on and on. Oh, look at this. Gadir is being the legacy of Gadir.
The A3. The A3.
Yeah.
Knight 65. Bishop B5.
We're getting an update. This is a weekend update. Oh, Tuesday night update.
Breaking news.
Breaking news. Yeah.
EX.
Breaking
6.
Bad.
Bishop E6. And we're gonna hope that the board sort of catches up.
Yeah. DGT madness, Nick.
Oh yes, that's always a problem when malfunctions.
And it's the same board, 7. It's like cursed. Bishop G4.
Maybe the board is haunted.
Bishop G4.
We're updating a game here.
Yeah, almost. Queen.
We're board 7 on our DGT board.
Rook F8, Rook B1, and then Queen E7. And we're gonna hope it sort of catches up.
Okay.
There we go.
All right. So we're still on this board 3.
I already have it. Okay. And there's no emails that I see.
So you're looking at Queen B4 check, Knight C3, Queen B2, Rook C1.
Yes, which is sharp. It's dicey. That knight can jump to some good squares from c3, and knight e6 would attack the bishop, but then that knight d5 could be stronger. But okay, knight d2 is
well, maybe a little more solid, but not maybe as forward directed. I think I like your knight c3 better.
Well, as Mike Welder says, now knight e6 for black, so the knight doesn't hang, attacks the bishop, and you're still attacking the b2 pawn. But very sharp game.
Yeah. All right, let's roll on here. Do you mind?
Well, let's roll.
This is board 5. Actually, board 4. James Mahudi versus Aiko Hadari. These are two A players in the.
Okay.
I'm going to roll back to the opening here.
Our classic players here.
So is this is automatically called the Catalan?
This is a Bogo Indian.
Okay, Bogo Indian.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think White's probably playing this.
Oh, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. And this is by one of your favorite players, Bogolyubov, of course.
Right.
That's, so,
White's allowed Black to play A4, fixing the pawn structure on the queen side.
yeah, but White has nice development, good squares.
Right.
And yeah, Black still needs to equalize. It's still some space advantage for White. Bishop D7 seems sensible, but E4, maybe White's getting
Could
getting
Black
a
have,
bit
could
more
Black
in the
have played
center.
E5 here?
E5.
I mean, it's a little dicey, but
Yeah, because you trade on D5, trade on E5, trade everything. And Black's bishop is still on C8 and D8. I'm not sure if some tactics would work for White. I think
I
like
think you're
C
right.
takes D5, knight takes D5, trade twice on E5, knight C4 on D4 may take you down.
And White also could play maybe CD5, knight D5, E4, and D5.
Yeah, but I think
No,
pawn
that's good.
takes E5 would win something.
Okay. Yeah, I see that. And C7 might hang too. All right, so bishop D7, E4. Now Black's really coming under the gun.
Well, probably White has to take twice on E4. Black has to take twice on E4 and maybe knight A5 or something, but White looks to have an opening edge.
Okay, we'll come back to this game, folks. Instead, we're going down to board 5. And this is Ilya Gilmofarb versus Guy Argo. And these players each have a 1.5 out of 3. So they're in contention. But not among the leaders at this point. Want to see how we got here?
Sure. I mean, action opening with
Center counter.
center counter.
Okay, E6 is a different idea than C6, right?
Yes, but same idea. You sack a pawn to get your pieces out.
And White takes it. And plays D4. And here comes this tricky move, Queen E7.
What a move. Because bishop E2, bishop takes C4. And knight E2 is not good. Maybe bishop E3, but Ilya, what did Ilya play on this?
He played Queen E2.
Which seems odd, would have tried bishop E3.
I guess he's saying if you can block your king bishop, I can block my king bishop.
So yes, and then Guy always has these tricky openings.
So if D5, knight D4, huh? That looks risky for everybody.
Wow. I mean, we could analyze that. We could trust Guy that there's something good in that, but probably it is
And
because,
you know what Michael said? This is known, and that Queen E2 is supposed to be the refutation of this.
oh, well, thank you, Mike. Thank you, Mike. Okay, this is Bishop E3.
Queen B4, Knight C3, Knight E4. I mean,
But
is Black just down a pawn here? That's the way I would look at it, I think.
definitely down a pawn. I mean, Queen C2. Um,
Bishop B5, Bishop F5. Oh, Queen C2, Bishop takes C4, doesn't work. Queen E4 check.
okay, so maybe Ilya has just played the refutation.
Yeah, this doesn't look like it's working for Black, really.
I like Queen C2 because it allows the bishop on F1 to get developed. And somehow I was looking to win a piece for White, very greedy, but White's just a pawn up. So you stay a pawn up. That's
And Michael's saying that back here, Queen E7 is a trappy move, but actually Black should play Bishop B4 check and get his pieces out of the box.
I am amazed that Mike knows this theory. I mean, it's an obscure line, and immediately he knows it. That's quite fabulous. And
Says
Mike
he
is the
lost
one
to
person.
And then, you know, chess, that's a sign of a decent chess player. Or yeah, the first thing you got to learn is from your mistakes. And if you can't, you know, that's what I stopped doing a long time ago. But no, seriously, you have to, if you lose to something, you have to go back and look at it and see what you did wrong.
Well, Mike is the one player who gets the advantage against Gadir in the opening.
All right, so White's still thinking here. Let's move on. We looked at this game. Okay, this is still going on. This is still going on. Okay, so now we are in another game. This is Caven Reese versus Samuel Brownlow, and this is board 6. Let's see how this came about. Ah, A6. That's an old move. It had a little flare up in the early 60s, and then I think it was just been basically discarded as not being not being really good enough for Black.
Back in the 60s when JFK was president.
And I think almost any move by White here gives some advantage. He has 2 bishops. He can even trade queens with a slight advantage. But so there's all kinds of moves. As far as I know, Queen D1 or Queen D2, right? Queen C7's been played here. Queen G3.
Nothing wrong with Bishop F4.
No.
Now you have to trade. Bishop G5 looks like some advantage.
That should be good enough for some small plus, but I mean, you could also move the bishop maybe.
Yeah, you could go back to E3, threatening Bishop C5 check.
Yeah.
And then you could go F3.
2 bishops.
Here the knight's going to come to D5. White has to have some edge in this ending.
For sure. And now it looks like he's winning a pawn, maybe. Knight B6 and Knight G7, maybe. Why not?
Various things, yes.
I mean, now it's also the bishop over knight. If he takes, and he did, and black, this is just A failed opening for black.
An extra pawn for the
And
white side.
that's an excellent move, c3.
But Samuel just keeps playing.
Yeah.
We get to, let's see the end game we get to.
Okay.
Keeps the rooks on.
And here we are.
Ooh, that knight gets pinned. That's a nice move.
Should be a win for white.
Well, good chances, very good chances, yes.
Okay. Let's go down to the next game. And this is, I think this game might not have been able to catch up. We're going to find out. We tried to update this game, and I'm not sure if it did get updated. Look at this, A3, Nick.
The Gadir move, yes.
Grandmaster Gadir's A3 has seeped its way down to board 7 of the Tuesday Night Marathon. And as far as I remember, Balachandra, after getting beaten with this once, drew Gadir the next time that it was played.
Yeah, he just found.
Now, I can't
The route
remember
to
how that
equality.
line went, to tell you the truth. It didn't go like this. So,
It's funny, this is a Scotch reversed with the pawn on A3, which isn't,
right.
shouldn't be anything. So well played by Christian Clemens.
Is this game updating?
The Clemens?
Yeah, we'll find out.
I looked a few minutes ago,
Okay.
and they actually had not moved.
After Queen E7. Okay. So, okay, this game looks like it's still in progress. And now, board 8, Mark Drury versus Steven Svoboda. Now, these are, am I right? These are two old timers. These are not kids playing
No.
on this board. These
Veterans.
Let's go to the beginning. Birds opening. We were trying to figure out openings named after animals.
Orangutan.
And this Michael Walter immediately said, "Oh, there's tons." And then we started to realize maybe there's not that many.
Orangutan, bird.
The rat, the bird, the hippopotamus, the elephant gambit. But then we started to run out of candidates.
Oh, so we can name something after them. The parakeet.
Yeah. I like the bird.
The koala bear.
The snake Benoni. Okay. The pelican, yeah. Pelican's a great one.
Is there any shark opening?
Shark? The shark?
Shark attack.
There should be.
You know, this position, it may look a little strange to people, but I'll bet you this position's been seen thousands of times.
Way back in the days of Henry Bird.
The Gingy Indian. He played it like an animal. And the knight goes back to f6. That's the first move that I question here, I think. It's just doesn't seem very positive. What do you think, Nick? should I have gone back? Was there any other moves that look weird to you?
That move is strange because white should just flop a knight on e5.
And he did.
Such a nice square.
So black is now going over to the queen side. Oh, that's Kasparov. That's probably Kasparov wondering why we haven't invited him over here tonight. We're just going to let it ring. Gary, you missed the boat. All right, b5. Yeah, black wasted a move maybe with and what about this knight takes c6? I would have seen if that bishop was going to stay bad maybe. Tough position.
Yeah, I wouldn't have given up that knight so quickly.
Yeah. Yep, I agree. That looks like a positionally mistaken exchange. And white decides to play on the queen side. This is neither here nor there, I think.
But white's still fine. I mean, it's white's certainly not worse.
Kasparov calling. So white's going for e4 or something here.
And I would have put a knight back on e5.
Yeah. Here, changing it up with the e4 plan. Boom. Takes mistakes, right? Black is just keeping it simple. This is too simple for me to understand. What about e6? I don't know.
Okay. E6 is a good move.
This simplifies things even more.
F5. That's a move.
Because if e takes f5 queen, what happens then?
E takes f5, e takes f5.
Queen takes f3, rook f3.
Rook f3. Not bad, really.
And then c4 maybe.
Yes, maybe c4, but you double on the f line. Probably it's equality with accurate play, but white's not worse.
Yeah, white. This play on the queen side actually delaying taking on b5 is kind of clever on white's part.
Yes.
Interesting. Okay. Black is in the tank here.
Well, now if pawn takes f5, queen takes c6, c6, a takes b5.
Well, wait a minute. No, e takes f.
I'm sorry.
It's white's move.
White's move, yeah. So white wants to go e takes f.
But we have a little clock thing going here. I'm not sure that this game hasn't stopped. Oh, black can play g5. That's an interesting move. E takes f5, queen f3, rook f3, g5. Might be good. That's thinking outside the box. Okay, let's move down to, we're going to move down to Richard Hack on board 1 of the under 1800 section. Richard Hack is 3-0.
And we saw his victory last week. That was showed it in the chess cafe.
So it's a Dutch defense, a Leningrad variation.
Let's do an update real quick.
We're getting another update here, folks.
Hopefully this catches on.
This is the same game here.
Yeah.
Black's just played queen e7.
Queen 7. So then there's bishop 4. Rook
C4.
a to d8.
Okay. Yeah, you didn't do that last time.
I think that's it.
Okay. Cortines versus Richard Hack, Queen E8. And that's to play
Marty,
that's to play
okay.
E5.
Yeah. I mean, that's the classic move. And, you don't worry about the C7 pawn because knight A6 is a good move for black in this line. Try for the E5 break. Pawn on C6. It belongs there. Oh, what is going on?
This looks like it's a misplay by white.
Knight G5. Don't like that move.
No, it just invites E4. And what
Yeah.
white's messing around here. Queen D3 was probably a mistake.
So black has at least equality because
So
of
in this position, you would think that white would play E4, but that's probably going to get into trouble if black takes twice and then plays bishop F5 and E4 maybe.
yeah.
Something like that, maybe.
So
Definitely a misplay by white here. That's a good move, knight A6, although black could play H6 and G5 too, right? You still got that.
yes, but nice. I love to see players instead of forcing something, develop, bring somebody else into the game.
Although bishop A3 might be a little awkward.
Ooh,
I think black should have played H6 first.
ouch, ouch. Bishop A3. Yes, that's
Forces
Will Marty play it?
C5. He played it.
C5 is positionally so
It's not a move black
difficult.
wanted to play. White's recovered a little bit here, I think.
Yeah, with the control of that D5 square.
But here comes
So-
E3. And again, I think I just would have played H6 here
Yes,
and G5. Or
Keep that
develop the
knight
bishop.
out of the game. It should have been good for black, and now all of white's pieces are on good squares.
Yeah, this doesn't. Now the knight can go back to F3.
Yes.
This didn't work out for white, for black rather.
Okay, so white is better, but it's still very much a game.
Yeah. Develop bishop E6, bishop D7. One of those moves.
Yes, but you don't like that white knight being able to come to the
To E5.
E5 square.
Yeah. Maybe, yeah, I don't know what to suggest here. Knight G4 and knight F2. Make it crazy.
Well, let's see.
Shall we come back?
I think we go on to a different game and come back and see what
Okay,
how this one's the best.
This is board 2 in the under 1800 section. This is Stephen Parsons versus Daniel Wang. Both of these players, all of these players have 3-0. So let's go back to the opening because that's always a good place to start, I think.
It seems black won the exchange.
Oh, that must be a DGT. Oh, no. He gives up the rook for the bishop.
That's a tactical mistake.
That's strange. Yeah.
Bishop or rook. Not a good trade, Stefan.
Yeah, that was a strange one. Okay. Here we are. All right, let's go all the way back up to board 1. Nick, where Ezra Chambers is battling it out with Elliot Winslow.
And this is an epic game, so we should pay some attention.
All right, let's go back here though, just to see how we got here. All right, so Elliot played bishop e6, and Ezra jumped on the bishop with knight g5.
Mm-hmm.
And And this is a bit of an unusual thing for black to allow, I think. You don't usually see this.
Sometimes, but yes, you worry now if that light squared bishop of whites can have some effect.
This to me looks good for white.
At least those pawns cover the central squares.
Nick,
As
I'm
it
going to have
goes-
some peanuts and join the peanut gallery. What about this queen offering the exchange of queens? That looks reasonable.
Well, hitting the e6 point, so it's an end game, and the bishop's pressuring that. But we'll see if Wiley Winslow can just defend the squares. Rook's gate. Okay, the bishop comes.
I mean, black
Back
is
somewhere.
controlling. The players are really fighting for the center here as well.
White is not worse, that's for sure.
Wiley Winslow. So what's the plan for white here? Pawn storm on the king side?
Well, first of all, secure the bishop, maybe bishop a2. But that's, wow, it gets a little strange. Maybe you go pawn to b5. Pawn takes pawn, pawn takes pawn. Knight on c3 needs to guard the bishop on a2. King to b1, pawn to b4. Knight b5, rook a6. Could get tactical.
Mm-hmm.
And Elliot is up on time, which is a bit surprising.
Maybe the white bishop should retreat to the other diagonal. Bishop back to e2.
Could, yes.
The Wiley Winslow. And Michael is also puzzling over this position.
Yeah, so bishop e5, bishop e2 keeps the pressure on. That pawn to b6 was a little odd to play pawn to b6 and allow the knight to take the bishop on e6. Really have to worry about these weak white squares.
So after a4, maybe b6 is the wrong idea? And you should just play knight c6 or just develop?
Yeah, I'm not sure about queen c7 to begin with.
Okay.
But then you could, this position, maybe even play h6 or something. But how you combine it, and I'm not sure that Elliot did that right. So,
And sometimes black plays knight g4 and the white bishop goes back to c1, and then the black knight goes to f6 and the bishop goes back to e3, and then we get a real grandmaster draw.
yes.
And but instead, maybe bishop e6 is the culprit.
Yeah, I don't really like that after the pawn to b6.
If there is a culprit here. What jury seems to be all over this opening. Okay, here we are. A complex struggle between the
yes, white a little better, but okay, it's between the first and second rated players, so be a battle to watch.
Now I'm going to express my ignorance. I don't know what chessable is. Do you, Nick? Do you know what chessable is?
It's sort of a website with I guess they have a lot of lessons and opening plans and things.
Because to me, it sounds like something to eat, you know? So, you know, I don't know. I'm just professing my ignorance here. I'm going to run up to board 2, where Nicholas Wang, whose birthday it is playing Sean Kelly. Let's see the last few moves.
Now it's Nicholas Wang's birthday and also Kevin Song's
Kevin's
birthday. Is that
son. And Kevin's son, Nick, you know who Kevin's son is playing?
no?
Tony Lama.
Oh, that is a great battle. Tony is 85. Kevin is 9.
Kevin turned
And,
9 today.
Yes.
It's his birthday. And he
Oh.
told, I know that, I knew that before Kevin came in today because he told Nick and I last night on Zoom. Nick is teaching a class where Zhuang is the theme, and Kevin is attending the class and told everybody that it was his birthday tomorrow.
So want to say good night to Alexi?
Yeah, good night, Alexi. It's later in Texas than it is here in San Francisco. Here it's almost 8 o'clock. And in Texas, I guess it's 10 or 11.
Alexi tells us 10.
Okay. All right, so let's see what happened after takes. Oh, this is obviously a mistake. White had taken on, it's a DGT weirdness here. Folks, notice Black took on f4. White didn't play f2, obviously took on f4, but we get there this way. How did this happen, though?
Because it should be White should have some extra moves. So maybe the DGP keyboard will straighten out after a couple moves.
Okay, here it is.
It's misbehaving.
Rook g4. Okay. Yeah. I don't know how we got there, but we're here.
I'm just going to ask you an important question.
Actually, I can't talk to you.
Okay, maybe we should move on to a different game. Can we see the other birthday boy?
No, we can't.
Ah, okay. Not on the DGT board.
No,
But,
Tony cleverly doesn't play on the DGT boards.
He likes to be famous for his mate in 3 rather than his live chess game.
All right, let's see how this game was interesting. Remember this?
Yes,
Is that
started
Kevin?
out with this crazy opening.
Kevin, how did you do?
I won.
Kevin said he won against Tony Lama.
Hey,
Happy
well, a
birthday.
nice.
Congratulations, Kevin. A big victory. Tony Lama is no slouch. Knight a6. Instead of knight e6, knight to a6.
That's not so logical. Why not e6? You're
Well,
hitting
it
the
leaves
bishop.
the bishop diagonal open.
Yes, but
It still looks weird. I know.
I think it loses time. And you need time in the opening.
But white goes back here. Maybe white could have castled on the queen side and really gone for it.
Yes.
But he played that g6, a3, queen a5. White's not quite getting what he wants here yet. Black is hitting back here, Nick. Whoa! Oh, that's a strong move. At least it looks like a strong move.
Wow. Okay. You know, though,
Maybe
how
not
about
so
just
clear.
saying pawn takes, bishop f5, knight c2, bishop c2, 3 pieces for the queen?
And he does it.
Well, that's a fun line.
He does it. I'd rather be white here. I think,
3
maybe.
pieces is fun, but if black castles, it's solid.
And white saves the b pawn.
Okay. All right. Saves the b pawn. So it's a queen and 1 pawn against 3 pieces. That's sort of fair.
White's trying to find some outposts here. I like the way black is playing this, though.
Yes.
He's trying to keep white off of unbalanced.
Knight g5.
Oh,
If you can
looks
just
like-
get in c5 and b4, you're doing great. But it's struggle.
Michael, are we missing something? You're saying he missed winning a piece with b4? I think that's the line we're following. Okay, so not rook d1 after queen a5, b4, and if knight takes b4, one of the knights, I guess. Then what? Queen c3.
But the knight on c6 guards the queen on a5.
Yeah, but you're hitting the rook on h8.
Aha. Okay, so
So
but
b4,
that's
knight a b4, queen c3, maybe e5 for black.
yeah, getting a bit complicated. e5. I guess you go knight takes e5.
If you play a takes b4, then maybe you can play a takes b4 too.
That is a okay. b4, knight a takes b4, queen c3, pawn to e5. If a takes b4, we go bishop takes b4,
Rook a5.
bishop takes c3.
Bishop takes e5.
Knight takes e5. I guess you can take with the rook, and you end up with a 2 pieces against a rook and pawn. So b4, knight takes b4, queen c3, e5. Yes, if a takes b4, bishop takes b4. Go
Oh, you can go
b2.
queen h8 check. You can take a
No,
rook.
pawn on e5.
Oh, that's right. I put the pawn on e5 and now I can't even see it.
But maybe just queen to b2.
All right.
Yeah,
Well, black
just-
will get 2 pawns for the piece. He won't be completely lost.
Yeah, ain't great though. Ain't great.
It
No,
ain't great,
very
but-
good, Mike. Very good, Mike. b4 is a great move.
Mm-hmm. All right. Look
Yeah,
at
that
this
knight
stuff.
a6 was not a good move.
Black seizes an opportunity to win the queen, but white is happy to give it up, I think. But now black starts playing real. Maybe b3 is too slow here.
Maybe rook e1, yes, to prevent pawn to e5. Would be better. Yeah, b3 is a bit slow, but this still is a very sharp game. Pawn c5 or pawn b4. I'd go pawn to b4 first, and then pawn to c5.
Right.
Oh, why not pawn to b4?
Yeah. Lloyd played this. And now.
Because that bishop coming to b3 would have been.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that would have been. Yeah. White misses.
That would have been
b4 here.
ouch.
And if queen a2, bishop b3, followed by c5, threatening bishop b3, that would have been strong. b4 was very strong here. Okay.
So both times, Nathan doesn't seem to like pawn to b4, but he should appreciate that move. Maybe he should start playing the orangutan.
Yeah, the orangutan. Tony Lama's having a tough time in this tournament.
Yeah, Tony, he likes to enjoy himself with the problems. The competitive chess, he's just getting back into. So he hasn't played tournament chess for quite a while.
I mean, White has to play bishop b1 here if he wants to avoid losing a piece.
Sure, play bishop to b1 and
then black can chase white away, or maybe play pawn e3. Pawn e3 looks strong. Maybe.
Pawn e3, then maybe you play pawn to b4.
Again. And you can play bishop a2 check. That's so strong, that move, bishop a2. All right, shall we move on?
Yeah.
This is our board. This is our board 3. Let's do a quick run through of the games so far. This is Mahudi versus Aiko. This has progressed a little bit. Looks like White's a little better, more space. Like
everything developed, rooks in the center, pawns in the center.
Yeah. Okay.
So definitely a slight edge for White, maybe even more.
This is Gimmelfarb, Argo. Black had just played queen b4 check. And this, and White takes back with the pawn. Okay. Black is still playing tricks here. What couldn't White just take on b4 and then play a3 or something like that and be a solid pawn up? Yeah.
But this looks fine too.
Yeah. Now black needs to reconsider this opening, I think. It's a pawn down, struggling to regain it. All right, and on board 6, oh, Nick, look at this. White's won 2 pawns and can just liquidate down to an easily winning endgame. In fact, the game is over. Black resigned.
Oh.
Black resigned.
Oh. Rook takes b5. He overlooked the shot. You want to go back to that?
Yeah,
that
bishop
key
b3,
moment?
b5, rook a8, rook c6, rook b8. Not sure what that's all about. Maybe it's preparation to play a4. But it's not helping his boom, boom, whammo. Nice move.
Okay, rook c5 is,
Very nice,
It's-
Caven.
and that's rook b5 is a killer.
Yeah. And black resigned. Excellent. Excellent tactic by Caven Reese to end the game. And on to board 7. Let's see if this has not been updating, unless the players are playing really slow.
No, it's just not big.
It's not updating. All right, this is board 7. We're not gonna come back to this because for some reason it's not updating. Okay, here we go, Nick. White sacrifices a pawn.
Wow.
We had this happen. White checked instead of taking on f5. And after queen f6, played e5. So doesn't black just play queen e6?
Yeah.
What's
I
going to
guess
happen?
you could
Rook
trade
d1.
on b5, then trade on a8, and take the pawn back on c5.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Oh yeah.
Pretty play by Mark Drury.
What if queen b6, e6, king g8? Is that risky?
You can do it. You can do it. I mean, it's. I mean, somehow black's kingside pawns are so solid that black can't be worse.
And he's a pawn ahead right now, so.
Maybe just queen to e7. On e6, king to g8.
Sometimes discovered checks aren't as good as they appear to be. All right, let's move on here. This is the Richard Hack game. This has gotten really exciting. Bishop a
Battle of the leaders
Bishop
in the
a3,
under
c5.
1800 section.
Rook d1, and Richard just going for it lately. Look at this knight e4, threatens the knight at c3, and after takes, black has surely a unique pawn for formation here in the middle, Nick.
Wow, what is going on here?
Knight e5.
That would be the good move. 95 is the good, and he does it. Does it? Yes.
Bishop f5. Now the bishop at a3 looks bad, poorly placed.
Yeah, but somehow white's got the center. You can just take an e4 or play pawn to g4. It's
Bishop takes e4, bishop takes e5.
and bishop
Oh, I see. Rook d
d5
bishop
check or
check.
bishop takes b7.
Well, bishop d5 check. I move the
Oops.
king.
So bishop b4, bishop e5. You have to go bishop takes f5.
This game is too wild for us to figure out. We're getting an updated
Richard's
result
just-
here.
Well, no, I'm just trying to see if I can fix this.
Oh, we're still trying to fix this.
Try to get one more.
This is board 7. You know, this is the jinxed table.
It is the jinx table, and we're gonna
The jinxed table of board
give
7.
it the good old college try here.
What did white play after rook a d8?
Queen d3,
Okay.
bishop h5,
Okay.
f e1. All right, and
We're trying again, folks.
you know, I'm trying to do it here. You know.
Okay.
All right, this is it. That's the one.
Pawn G4. I keep wanting to play bishop takes E5.
Pawn G4, bishop takes C5, pawn takes F5.
Bishop D4. Nah, that's not good. I don't think so. For me.
Bishop G4, pawn, bishop takes. Probably good for white.
Yeah. All right, let's roll on to the second board in the under 1800 section. This is Parsons versus Wang. These players are playing for all the money here. What's going on here, Nick? White's still the exchange down.
Exchange. Yeah, pawns are even. Isolated pawn, just nice doubled rooks for black on the E line. So white is in serious trouble.
Okay, bishop F4 maybe. Yeah, like Michael says, just trading off more pieces. Looks good to me. I'm going to go back up to board 1, and I'll be back in a few minutes.
Okay, good. We will contemplate the big battle on board 1.
I'll take you through the steps, though, how it got there, before I take a quick break.
Pawn sacrifice.
Pawn to B3 was played. And black plays B5. It looks like rook C4 is almost possible here, and rook C8. But he plays B5. Maybe that's better.
Well, it's a lot of action. A pawn sacrifice in the ending. Now pawn to D5, and what is going on?
I'll let you figure that out because I'm going to be right back. I'm taking a 3-minute break.
Actually, I need to do something.
And Abel is coming.
Well, perfect time for Paul to take a break. Because
Yeah, that was well timed, Paul. Your timing is impeccable. Your comedic timing, your bathroom timing, everything. Whoops.
But this is a critical position of the tournament between the first two rated players because
I think I just messed this up here.
Winslow has sacrificed a pawn and gotten this pawn to D5 break, but that's another pawn sacrifice. So
hold on, I have to
we ask what is going on here.
Let's see. Oh my goodness! Here,
What? Just stop fiddling with board 7. It's cursed.
No, I gotta. Hold on, guys. I gotta put the link back in here because I was messing with it. There we go. All right, the games are back. Yeah, board 7 was cursed, but I'm gonna try to. I think I've come up with the solution, and I'm gonna do the Juan Sendejas
Shuffle.
where you just try everything and see if it fixes. So we'll see. We'll see if it works now. But so how have the games? It looks like that Marty Cortinas game is sort of the game.
Yes, this one first board is very interesting.
And board 1.
Also Marty's game.
And so let me go to board 1 because I was asking Ezra earlier because he was at a site we were coaching together, and I said, "Big game tonight against Elliot." He's like, "Oh yeah," he's all, "Is that who I'm playing?" And then I go, "Yeah." I go, "Do you check the pairings? Because the pairings come out Monday at noon." And he's like, "No." I go, "You just show up and play," and he's like, "Yeah." So he doesn't do any preparation. He just shows up and takes care of business.
But he plays his game. That's great. That's
Yeah.
great. And he should have a good position here, but it's not good to go bishop takes d5 because of knight b5, rook b5, rook a1 check, and you've skewered the king and rook on h1. So you might try rook takes d5, looking for a discovered check. Then white throws in rook c4 with pawn takes or rook a1 check. So probably the bishop on c4 just has to retreat to e2, but you still have an extra pawn.
Bishop d3
It's
play.
bishop d3, okay. And exactly what do you have for your pawn here?
God, doesn't like knight c5 look like a strong move? Like you're also threatening knight takes b3, right?
Yeah, that's a kind of aggressive move. If bishop takes that,
Oh, bishop takes. Yeah, bishop takes.
but then it's bishops of opposite color. You've got some dark squares. Maybe the best move, knight c5.
I like when I get a move correct, but like the rationale was not. It just happened to be the right move.
Well, it's coming forward. It's pressing.
And Mike Walder's in the chat. Yes, you and Ezra are opposites in your preparation approach in the TNM. Complete opposites.
But Ezra knows his openings.
Yeah.
Gotta give him that.
Let's see what's what about that board 2 game here with Nicholas and Sean?
Okay, so we seem to have this one correct. Wow, what is going on here? Now, if that rook goes back to f2, is there any tactic with that? Bishop on g5 and the bishop on e3. Rook f2, knight to c4. Threatens the queen, but then bishop takes e5. What happens? Bishop takes g5, knight takes queen on d2. Bishop takes queen on d8, knight takes rook on f1. I'm thinking that's coming out ahead for black.
So I'm going to put your part. Wow, you went rook f5, and I'm going to let your partner in crime, FIDE Master Paul Whitehead, dissect the effects of rook a5. And we'll be back. Hi, Nick.
Hi, Paul.
You know, chess is a cruel game, Nick.
It is. It is. Oh, I thought he could have tried instead of bishop e3, knight to c4. White plays bishop g5, knight takes d2, bishop takes d8, knight takes f1, snagging a rook. And yeah, you've gotten a rook for a bishop.
Yeah, that's strange that black, maybe black has seen something simple. Or can he play knight c4 and knight e3 anyway?
Oh,
maybe not.
You play knight c4 and then knight e3, forking the rooks on.
I think he just missed it. He probably did this and then thought, I'm going to have a look around after this. That's
knight c4, queen f2, knight e3, rook f7,
right.
Knight takes f1, bishop takes f1. But
and white's got more than he did in the other position.
Yeah, nice to get rid of that f7 pawn so the knight can jump to e6. Sean, I think you missed something there. Yeah.
All right, let's roll on to the next game. Oh. Shall we go back a
Now,
few moves?
now this is a fun game. Always 3 pieces against a queen is always a fun game because stuff
Okay.
just happens.
So white did go
And-
back with bishop to b1. Yeah, like you said, 3 pieces versus a queen. Black did play
And
e3.
Black should have gone h6, but he hit with
And look at this,
e3.
white played bishop a2. That's one of the most unusual moves. I mean, of course, it's got b4 in mind, but it's a very strange move. Anyway.
Here, does that work? Why not queen a5 hitting the bishop?
Yeah, good point. He played h6 instead, but you're right. Queen a5 looks powerful. I think this is a missed opportunity for black here. Very strong move. Bishop a2 was a mistake. White should have played b4 instead.
But
Funny.
it certainly has worked out for
Instead, he played h6, b4 check, king h8, knight f7, king h7, and then took there. Is that the right move? I guess black's starting pawn e2. Looks reasonable. Looks strong, actually.
yeah, take on e3
Yeah.
looks right.
Yeah, check. And I think black missed a great opportunity there. And now
That is
white is swarming in now a little bit. He hasn't quite swarmed in yet, but okay, queen a3, double attack. Oh, queen
bishop d5.
a6. That's good. Putting the queen all the way over there on the edge of the board. I mean, maybe black had nothing better. This is getting tough for black here. Very tough.
Yes, that bishop on d6, those knights, they should be very good for white.
All right, we'll come back. And we have this game in the Mahudi Aiko Hadari game. E4, bishop. Okay, bishop went back to e8 after e4. Just letting you know. And then black takes this way. I'm not sure about these moves, but we're just getting to the position. I think white's misplayed this, clearly.
Well, Akko had his pieces ready to jump in. Like
Yeah.
he kept that b3 square, that bishop on e8. It actually does something. Not a bad place for it.
No, this
And
has
his
gone
rooks
well
are
for
connected.
Yep.
So one little slip by white, and suddenly black is doing very well.
Agreed. All right, let's move on. This is the game where black is a pawn down. Gimmelfarb versus Guy Argo. Ilya Gimmelfarb. There's 2 Gimmelfarbs in this tournament.
Oh, but this has really gone well for white. Not just the pawn, but the pawn center, the development.
And maybe a looming attack on the king side.
That black queen far over on the queen side. So we may see some tactics coming in this game.
Rook b5 looks like it adds another piece into the attack as well.
Oh, yeah. White is having a good time here.
All right, moving on. Oh, this game is over, and this is Mercado versus Clemens. Whoops. I don't, I guess black is still thinking after rook fe1, but I have a feeling this game might, this is the problematic board 7.
It looks like a reasonable position, both sides here. Um,
Can white win the exchange here, Nick, with knight g, after queen d7, knight g5? Bishop g6, bishop takes f7 check.
and
Queen
queen takes
f7,
f7, knight f7.
bishop d3, knight takes d8. I think that wins the exchange.
Wow, nice variation. Queen g7, knight g5. Nice move.
Queen f6 maybe. That runs into the b2 bishop maybe, but I don't know.
We could be brave and queen d7, knight g5, bishop g6, bishop takes f7, and go bishop takes f7, queen takes h7 check, king to f8. But that looks like a very dangerous attack for the piece. So very nice variation. Maybe black can go queen to f6.
Yeah.
So rook e8, pawn to d5, and maybe knight e5 there.
Not so good for white. Shall I roll on?
Yeah.
So after e5, black did play queen e6, maybe a little awkward place for the queen. And after taking on b5, played c4. These guys are tactical geniuses.
And so maybe white will win his pawn back on c4, but doubled pawns. After pawn takes b5. No, you don't even win it back. So
That's actually
black
looks
is
like
just
a good move.
no. I'm sorry. White took on b5 and black played pawn to c4.
Yeah.
Ah, okay, but that's odd.
It's odd, but it might be good. I mean, you're
So pawn takes rook takes a6.
rook a6.
Pawn takes a6. So pawn takes b3. Queen takes b3.
Queen a6, or maybe
Queen a.
yeah.
And pawns are even, but black has better pawn structure.
Yeah. Okay. Let's move on. We got a lot of games to cover, and this is Richard Hack's game. Look at this.
Let us see Richard Destiny, the battle for #1 in the under 1800 section.
So after knight e5, bishop f5, white took on e4, black took on e5, white took on f5, black took, and took with the rook, which might have been a mistake, huh?
Well,
Maybe should have played queen takes. Bishop b2, queen e6. Oh, maybe queen takes is not good because of rook d5. All right, black's position is starting to look a little shaky to me.
Okay, let's see. Rook e5, bishop b2. Ooh.
Queen
That
C3
long
is
diagonal
coming.
hurts. Ouch.
Black is in serious
Ouch.
trouble here.
Um,
Yeah, this is not fun.
Rook e6, queen to c3 is really bad news. Rook e7 probably. Ooh, I think you had to play.
Yeah, I think this is over. Queen C3. I don't see a defense here. Queen H8 mate.
Marty Cortinas will take the lead in the under 1800 section.
Richard being a little too lackadaisical here. I think he had an
You can get
interesting game, a good game, and just got into trouble there. All right, I'm going to move on here to the second board. These players also each have 3, but black is just converting here pretty easily here. Parsons versus Wang. This is not good for white.
queen to g5,
Yeah,
bishop to c4, but
white's lost. I'm going to move all the way up. Okay, Cortinas has played queen c3 against Richard Hack. I'm going to go all the way back up to Winslow, Chambers Winslow. Let's see what happened here. b3, b5, takes, knight b5, d5. What happens on
now
rook takes d5?
if rook takes d5, rook
Oh,
takes
I
c4,
see, and you
pawn
lose.
takes c4, rook a1 check.
Yeah, you lose the rook in the corner. Okay. So the bishop goes back. Black has sacrificed a pawn.
And Elliot plays Abel's move. Abel said knight to c5. And, Elliot did that going forward.
And this
It's
also after bishop c5, opposite colors bishops is looming here.
but still a pawn up for
Pawn up for white.
white.
Yeah.
A little compensation. The bishop's of opposite color of the pawn center, but still better for the white side.
Okay. We're going to move down then to board 2, where black missed an opportunity earlier. In this position, he could have played knight c4, and that looks like it would have worked. But instead, he played bishop e3 and then queen b6. This is dangerous for white, nevertheless. Queen f2, rook e7.
Could have considered grabbing that pawn.
I guess he doesn't. He was maybe worried about rook e5. I don't know.
Rook e5 or rook f7, yes, it's complicated.
Just keeping it simple with rook e7. But now white can play like knight b5 or something.
And
or
yes,
queen
a pawn to
h4.
b3.
Queen h4. Michael is pointing out queen h4, and there's also knight b5. This game is swinging. I feel like it's swinging. White almost looks better after knight b5.
Also knight b5, yes, a nice endgame. But okay, it's not at all over. There's still dark squares. There's play.
Yeah. Queen h4, knight g6, queen back to f2.
And
Yeah. Maybe you can just take that pawn with impunity. It looks unlikely, but yet it might just be that you can do it. This game's a little shaky tactically. I think we found some stuff here that the players might be missing. Let's look at board 3, Nathan Fong versus Adam Stafford.
Oh yeah, this fun game. H4 is a nice. No
H4,
backrank checkmates. Maybe you're gonna sacrifice or something.
H4, Bishop F6. Now you know
But-
White's winning here, but the fact that there's so many pieces on the board, it's confusing.
And the queen is just one piece. It can only take one of those white pieces.
Right.
The little ones are ganging up on the big queen.
The little ones.
So I don't know, maybe just rook e1, yeah, fight for those squares. Adam has his work cut out for him.
Okay, we're going to come back. And Akko has won a pawn.
Well, that's all safe, no white pawn center, no attack for white. All the black pieces out.
Nice.
Extra pawns, so.
There's time trouble for black looming.
But Akko has gotten what he wants.
Mm-hmm.
Knight d4, pawn c6, knight f5, maybe.
Oh, sorry. I'll take you back there.
No, that's no tactics. I'm just trying to find some play for white, but clearly black has
Now,
better position.
Did you play a game against Mike Walder where he sacked his queen for 2 bishops?
I cannot remember that game. 2 bishops, queen against 2 bishops and 3 pawns. That sounds like an interesting battle.
It sounds like you won, Nick. We're getting a result in. Of course, this Richard lost to Marty Cortinas after being a little bit sloppy in his middle game play.
Reese won his game 2.
We figured that one out. Okay. All right, this is Ilya Gimmelfarb versus Guy Argo on board. Oh, I think I just lost. Something got misplaced here. I'll have to ask Judith when she comes back. Oh, there we are. What do you think about this game, Nick?
Still a pawn up, but Guy has shored up the king side with those pawns. So it kind of might remind me of that game that 5-1. Mike must have at least tied for second in the tournament, not first.
When was this tournament played back in the dinosaur era?
Yes, yes. Back when there were pterodactyls and triceratops and things.
1983. I had already pretty much quit chess at that point. Isn't that funny?
Igor Ivanov. There was a man.
There was a man who could drink most chess players under the table
Oh, yes.
and outplay them.
Great Igor.
So 96 Rook F7, I guess he's still doing
Yeah, it's, black covering things, still a pawn down, but hey, it's
Now, Michael, you should have tied for second through fourth with a score of 5-1. Did Igor go 6-0 while these guys went 5.5? The tournament was so strong that even 5-1 wasn't good enough for prize money.
that's strange.
That is very strange. Yeah, I guess it could happen if there was I'm trying to figure out how that could happen. A 6-round tournament where one player goes 6-0 and three players have 5.5. That sounds really unlikely.
Unless it was a complete open tournament.
Yeah, that sounds almost impossible. But I guess it's possible. Just
apparently it happens.
Apparently it happened. All right, let's come back to this game. Argo's making a fight of it.
Yes, good.
We know what happened there, and this game is obviously lost. This is board 7. This is the Lost in Space chess set, the chess board.
And Christian is thinking he wants to avoid your queen d7, knight g5.
I think that actually this game is lost in the DGT problem that board 7 has. So we'll see, but that's my guess.
In the Atlantic Ocean, there's the Bermuda Triangle, but here at the Mechanics, it's the board 7.
Yeah, that's right.
Serious happening.
So after c4, Nick, White decided to take that pawn and then back up with queen b2.
Wow.
I think. How about rook b8 here?
Rook b8, rook takes a6 is interesting. Then queen takes a6, and we'll go pawn e6 check, and hope we have something. Maybe you just go pawn to f6. You've got an extra rook. Rook b8, yeah, looks good.
White's play has been a little artificial here, but yeah, I don't know. He's banking a lot on being able to play e6 check.
Yeah, e6 check isn't such a big deal.
I never played in that tournament, the Memorial Day Classic. Is that still being held in Los Angeles? Big tournament in Los Angeles. Memorial Day Classic. It's still being held. How about that?
Wow.
That's a tournament that's quite old. One of the must be a heritage event or something like that.
That in the American Open, also in Los Angeles.
Right. My brother played in a few of. Did you ever win the American Open, Nick?
Yeah, once or twice.
I tied for first once. That was my greatest, one of my greatest victories.
That and Paul Masson.
Paul Masson and a U.S. Junior. I had a few minor victories.
Oh, they sound like pretty good victories.
But I never won the Tuesday night marathon, Nick.
Well, then it just doesn't count, you know.
The American Open might have been my best tournament. I did play a good chess until I played Tarzan in the last round, and then I played poorly but resourcefully and ended up winning that game.
I thought that in September, Carlson was supposed to come here and play the Tuesday night marathon.
Carlson in the TNM.
Well, maybe it was another tournament, but probably the TNM because that's the best event around.
Black played A5, Nick. I guess that threatens Rook B4. No, I beat Hosea, but I didn't win that tournament. I lost in the last round. It's a horrible game.
Well, A5 is a fine move, so pawns are still even. Black still has good pawn structure.
And Rook B4 is a threat. Okay, let's roll on. We're going down memory lane, and I'm sorry everybody for that. Black resigned this position, and White is getting beaten in this game. Down 2 pawns and the exchange. That is the second board on. This means that Daniel Wang is going to be tied with Marty Cortinas at a perfect 4-0.
Well, let's play Bishop C4 and still hope. I don't know. It's lost, but
maybe you can find something cheap.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to roll up to board 1, where FIDE Master Ezra Chambers is trying to convert versus International Master Elliot Winslow. And Elliot has allowed White to get a couple of connected pass pawns. Let's see how that happened. Or else.
Oh, that is bad news.
So, King B2, Rook B8. Is Black playing in the right way here? I don't know. But here he plays E4, and that seems questionable to me.
Yes. Play something like King E7, I don't know, but E4.
That seems questionable, especially since White now gets a little pawn duo.
And pushing those black pieces around. This is just terrific for the white side.
I mean, Black still has some drawing chances here.
Yes.
And
Old Elliot has his work cut out for him.
Yeah, I agree. Ezra is in the driver's seat here in this game, trying to get a scalp. All right. Let's go down to board 2. And Queen takes H4. Michael's move, just boldly snatching a pawn there at H4. Putting Black in the think tank.
Yeah, that's a nice pawn. You know, that's on the king side. So, what do you got for that pawn? Because pretty solid on the king's
Michael
side
calls
in the
it a
center.
low-hanging plum.
Pretty easy to grab.
Yeah, Sean's play's been a little superficial, I think. And White's grabbed a pawn here.
You try to get tanked now. That rook on e7 is attacked. So.
I guess you could play knight g6, queen f2. I was thinking then queen takes b2, but rook takes f7.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on.
Oh, now this game was great, and it has not gone the way we expected. Suddenly, Adam has come back. Because now it is a rook, bishop, and knight for queen, but black has pawns, and if black can just safeguard his king, then he's got real play. What's happening? C6, queen takes d5, rook g7. Check is just winning for black.
Dangerous position for both players.
Yes.
Though. Black can fall prey to a knockout if he's not careful.
Yes, but might mess this up if we go back a few moves.
I will do that.
It was such control of the board for the white side.
Okay, so after rook e1, black traded and then played king g7.
Okay.
And white went with that knight. Maybe the other knight was better? Keep pouring the pieces in?
Well, rook d6 is a fine move, I have to say. Yeah, just...
It was a good move, yeah, because it won another pawn. Actually, it won two. It really simplified things a lot. Black has played this quite well here.
Yes.
And there goes another pawn. How about rook a1 there? Oh, then bishop f2 maybe. And that's another good move. Black is finding all kinds of good moves here. All right, so what about bishop f7? Just attack the pawns.
Well, then maybe bishop to g3.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And you can't play rook c6 because of queen d1.
So
he goes back to b3.
Okay. I like that move. It covers the d1 square, so rook c6 becomes a move.
Yes.
But black could play something like bishop to g3, rook to c6, bishop takes e5, rook d6, bishop d6 with 3 pawns for a piece.
He's not going to lose that.
Yeah.
So bishop g3, bishop g3. Nice move. Maybe knight f7 or something.
Yeah, but when the pieces stop protecting each other,
Yeah.
then they get in trouble.
Bishop g3, rook
Like,
c6, bishop takes e5. Okay, we're going to move on here. Black is trying to consolidate. We're getting an incoming raid from Art of Attack. Yay! Thank you, Art of Attack. And thanks, everybody, for joining us here at the oldest chess club in the United States, Mechanics Institute. We are having round 4 of the Tuesday night marathon, a tournament that started back in 1972 and is still going on today. And we have Grandmaster Victor Fermian and myself, FIDE Master Paul Whitehead. We've been associated with this club since we were teenagers. What's going on here, Nick?
well, a pawn is a pawn, and it's Akko's move.
White threatens rook d4 with devastating effect. Black needs.
So how about knight to e7? That seems
I like
ready
that.
to trade down. Probably
Trade everything.
d8 check, rook d8, bishop takes c6.
Knight takes c6, rook a4.
And you've gotten your pawn back. So knight e7 gives the pawn back. How about knight b6, moving the pawn?
There you go. That's the safe move.
Then okay, that holds the pawn.
Yeah. It's a simple move to see. All right, let's move on. And this is Ilya Gimmelfarb versus Guy Argo. And boy, this has gotten complicated. White played knight e6, rook f7, and now d5. I mean, clearly White's getting his own way, his way here.
Yeah, it's certainly nice to have that, pawn on d5, knight on e6.
Plus the extra pawn.
And the extra pawn and the queen on a6 seems out of play.
I'm going to move down to that game was over, and this game is clearly in GGT heaven here. What's going on in this game? Look at this, Nick.
Okay,
Oh, sorry.
2 rooks against the queen. He went for that variation.
Okay, White overprotected the pawn at e5, and after rook b4 took it off.
So very sharp variation to give up 2 rooks for a queen.
First he checked, and then Black didn't take the pawn at b5, but plunged the queen in with queen f2.
Yeah, so
Well, that b pawn will never. Black gets the c2 pawn. This was maybe a mistaken idea by Black.
okay, but the queen is active. Queen takes c2, and you're threatening to go like queen c5, pick up another pawn.
That's true.
So the rooks are not that coordinated. Maybe you go rook on E1 to B1, queen to C5, rook to B4, but
Rook A4, and then rook takes B4.
yes, but then you lose the B5 pawn and E5 pawn, so the queen and 4 pawns on one side against 2 rooks and 2 pawns, which ought to be a draw, but still, the queen is a little ahead.
So black lost 2 tempo here, and still has a good game.
He didn't go back.
He did. He went back.
Okay.
Looks like he's panicking a little bit.
That move, I think you come out a pawn less than if you're just taking on C2.
Hey, Mean Jelly Bean. Thanks for joining us. Well, that's an odd move going back like that. This is Mark Drury versus Steven Sabota. And let's roll on here. White's trying to get a little light square action here, Nick.
Okay, that's all you can do. I mean, if black definitely wins the game, but right, bishop on G6 is hoping for a checkmate.
Let's go. Well, roll back up to board 1, Nick, where Ezra Chambers battles. FIDE Master Ezra Chambers is battling International Master Elliot Winslow.
Oops, what did Elliot do? Now, bishop C4, E2. Well, bishop C4, E2, rook on D to E1. Pawn takes rook on F1. Bishop takes E6 check. Oh, wait a minute. The knight on B5 will be hanging at the end of that.
Yeah.
So no immediate tactics, but oh, that just looks so dicey for black.
Just knight D4 is a nice consolidating move. Then you can, it covers E2 as well. Black looks busted.
Hey, actually, how about bishop C4, E2, bishop takes E6 check.
Yeah.
And if king takes E6, knight D4 check.
Yeah, that's it.
So
I think Elliot just is messing around here. Oh, I've got an idea. Bishop C4, rook takes B5.
Ah, very good.
Does that work?
It does seem to, yes. Well, I mean, the end game's still probably better for white, but you know, bishop C4, rook B5, bishop B5, E2, bishop C4, something, rook and 2 pawns against the knight and bishop.
But knight D4 right now looks just really strong.
Yeah, why complicate it?
Okay, we'll come back to this. What happened here? White sacked the exchange. Queen H4. Black boldly went where no man has ever gone before with knight F6. Hey, I'm always trying to find something new to say, you know?
I like the reference.
Oh, Jim Ratliff says the commentator's audio is echoing. That's interesting. There's nothing we can do about that right now. We're rolling with it. And we're not sure which commentator you're talking about. Oh, you had two. Oh, we had, yeah. Okay, that's all right. Hey,
Okay.
we like to hear an echo, every once in a while. Rook takes f6. I like that
But,
move. I
well, it'd be
guess.
better if the knight on d4 wasn't pinned.
Yes. All right. Well, white just, yeah, it makes sense though. Boom.
Well,
And then king h1.
king h1. Okay,
Nice move.
giving black one chance for defense. I guess knight
Redemption.
g6. You have queen to f6. Ooh, okay. That makes it tough. Yeah, that makes it tough.
Nicholas Wang. Well, look at it this way. Kevin's son won on his birthday, and now it's Nicholas Wang's birthday as well. He wants to
Some
win.
there's some people who always lost on their birthday.
Who is that?
Oh, I some English players I knew. I think John Fedorowicz had played. A lot of people, Bashir Legrave maybe too.
Right.
It wasn't easy to play on your birthday.
No, it's not. You find yourself playing chess and you're wondering what's life all about,
Yeah, this one's just so tough. Knight coming to f5 and checkmating black. Hard to find a decent looking defense.
Nicholas Wang loves to attack. All right, let's move down the line here. This fascinating game here. So after bishop to b3, black played queen b6, hitting the bishop, which went to c4, blocking the rook, and now he played bishop g3. Black's on a roll somehow with all this play here.
Okay, but rook d7 check is that's going to be a real check.
Rook d1.
Rook d1 turning rook d7.
Ooh, that's a strong move. White's trying to get coordinated here. Maybe the queen b6 was not such a good move, and your move bishop g3 first was better. I think so.
Certainly safer to just trade off all those attacking pieces.
Yeah.
More
Okay.
pieces attacking the king.
The rook gets in on the d file. Oh, black takes on e5.
Probably necessary.
Can white coordinate an attack here? Do you want to try rook d7, king f6, rook f7, mate?
Sorry, rook 95. You played h5.
Rook d7 check.
Oh, you did that.
Because if king f6, rook f7, mate.
Okay. I might have done the threat is stronger than the execution. There was no stopping rook d7 check anyway.
So,
but okay, king has to go to the back rank.
And if 95, queen b1 and queen b8.
Oh, with the pin. Yeah, that's so say king to f8, and you have two choices: f8 or h8.
He went to h8.
Oh no, because then there's 95.
It's rook d8 check.
Yeah. Oh, h8's a rotten.
Oh no, rook d8
squares.
check doesn't work. But white will have rook e7 to defend, and then rook e6. Black is going to get busted there. I think he made a mistake. Should have gone to f8 maybe. The king.
F8 might have won the game because your queen b1 check and queen to e8. That was a nasty pin.
But now on queen b1, king h2, queen b8, white's got rook e7, right? And then starts to coordinate everything.
No, on queen b1, king h7, queen b8, you have rook d8 check.
Oh, that's what I said originally. That's right.
Yeah.
I forgot. It's getting late here.
Yeah.
Rook d8 check is a beautiful move.
Okay, so Mike Walder wants to just push ahead with a5 and say, what are you going to do to me?
Maybe rook d6. What do you think? Does white have a knockout win there?
No, as long as it's not checkmate over there. Black's got play. A5, I might go king h2. Trying to get my king to a better square.
All right, this is complicated as heck. Let's let the players figure it out, and we'll go down to this game where black is still up a healthy pawn. He found knight b6.
Okay. James is making a good defense of it, though.
Found knight b6. Oops, sorry. Pieces came off. Why did black's king go to g7? It's an odd move.
Centralized seems more normal, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so clearly black trying to win, but down to 12 minutes. Here, Gallardo is hanging on. Queen h3 would force pawn to h5.
Well, queen h3 doesn't threaten queen h7, mate.
No, excuse me. How about a rook on e1, though? Strange to give up the e file.
Black wants to play c6.
Yeah, but rook e8 check looks like
Oh yeah.
a mean move.
Well, white had just played knight g5, attacking the rook.
He didn't want to go to e7.
Maybe he should have. Instead, he went to d7, and now you're suggesting rook e1. That looks good.
Yeah, that rook e8 check.
Yeah, that's bringing another piece into the game like that. Looks strong. Okay, we'll move on. This game clearly is GGT heck. And black looks like he's better here, huh? White can not play rook e6 check, even though he'd love to.
Yes, he would love to play that move. That, but Black is in time to stop the B pawn.
Nick, there was an interesting king and pawn ending that Radjabov failed to take the opposition against Nakamura, and Nakamura brought in the point in a king and pawn ending. In a
People are
simple, it
screwing
was
up their king and pawn endings.
it was really nice, Nick. You would have liked it. One move for White to draw, for Radjabov to draw, and he missed, and he couldn't find it. In time trouble, of course. But
It's funny, Nakamura, he doesn't play that much classical chess anymore, but he's still so good in the rapid and blitz.
his play has been, he's leading the event, this particular event, and Carl, he's playing very, very solidly and good defensive. Good with excellent technique. But Carlson is playing like an absolute madman.
Did you see that Nathan and Adam Stafford?
Let's go. Let me see. Yeah. Is this still going on? Oh, okay. Yeah, we figured that White was getting coordinated here. After rook d1, bishop e5, knight, rook check first. Queen f6.
Oh, terrible queen f6 and knight f7.
Queen
just
f6
wins
did
the
nothing,
game.
yeah. That just
King
wins.
to g7, knight g5, and that's the
it.
end.
G5.
Now king f8, knight
goodness.
h7,
Oh, wow.
king h8, yeah.
Unbelievable.
Queen f6 was a blunder. Nice game by Nathan Fong.
Well, Adam had come back.
Yeah.
This
was an interesting game, a tough game. Maybe a game for the newsletter. All right. After rook d7, White swung the queen over to g3 instead. This is maybe Black's chance to play c6.
Yes, why not c6? Got to get those black pieces into play.
Yeah. Nick, do you mind? I'm going to go back up to board one and let you take a look at this position. I'll be back in a few minutes.
Okay, we will see.
This is
Ezra was just doing
Chambers,
great.
Winslow, board one.
And it's been an uphill battle for Elliot for quite some time since Ezra got those nice pawns on the queen side. And that lone black pawn marching down the middle, just it's not causing any trouble. So bad situation for Black with weak on the light squares, has a loose pawn on e3, and Elliot will have to find some miracle kind of play here to hold this game. Maybe that knight can jump around. It's hard. And bishop c5 just doesn't seem to be right. You know, any king move, king to c4 or something. So going to be 2 pawns down for the black side. And hard to get play. Yeah, Mike Weller says kind of hopeless, and one has to agree. I mean, White has to make some serious mistake in this game. I don't know what Black can do. Just try anything, push the king side pawns or something. Or chance to sacrifice. That black king is in a bad position. Maybe h5 and king g6. A lot of good moves for black, yes. But yes, just ready to take the pawn on e3. Well, okay, there's takes e3, takes e3, knight takes e3. That also works for white. e6, bishop to b5 check, so
How's
just
Elliot
nothing.
doing here, Nick?
No, Elliot's just he's struggling, but he's going to be down 2 pawns. Ezra can just take the line e3.
And he did.
And you have
It's
to.
hard
you
to
have
understand Elliot's play in this game. He just seems to be tired.
Well, it's nice to have the center in an end game, in a middle game, an opening, but in an end game, it doesn't matter so much. So he gave up a pawn, but wasn't compensation. When he tried to push down the center, then there showed he had nothing. So yeah, he has to find some very slimy sort of attack here.
Okay, let's go down to board two. Wow, black is hanging on here. Let's see what happened after rook f6.
Pretty good if you can hang on, but yeah, it's just
He played queen d8. Knight came to f5. The rook went to c7. The queen went to h6, threatening mate. Queen went to f8, threatening to trade. Queen takes f6, threatening, I suppose, knight h6 check. Maybe.
and knight g6, and just barely hanging on for
Trying to
the.
cover some squares on the king side.
So material's technically even, but white's all over him. Can take the d6 pawn, could bishop d3. Yeah, can
White
actually
must
bishop
be,
d3 just shuts things down. Can't really move anything for the black side. But
bishop
it's
d3
still,
followed by h4. White's just got an overwhelming position according to Mike, and I would tend to agree here.
yes, I'm not going to argue, but Sean Kelly, he's resourceful, and there's the clock, so we'll see if.
All right, we're going to move on then.
See if Sean can make it a battle.
This game was over after knight g5 check. Black resigned. And this is, yeah, White's done a clever thing here. By bringing the knight to c3, he's tied the rook down and the rook and the knight down in the defense of the a4 pawn.
Yes, nice defense by James.
Yeah. Black needs to play rook a5 or something. Bring the rook in that way, maybe. Or play rook g8 and try to, yeah, I don't know. Not so easy.
Yeah, the king may have to go back to G7, which is. Yeah, Akko's got his work cut out for him. Convert the pawn.
Okay, we're going to move on here, where black did play c6 and white has taken on c6. Now I was wondering about this, if white can try to throw in rook takes f5 or something. But I mean, black is kind of getting sort of back into this. Queen takes c6 maybe. That queen is way out of play.
Yeah, that defensively, that's probably a good move to take with the queen. Then, ouch. Rook takes f5.
Does that even
And
work though? Can black just take it?
but then knight to e6 check. King can't go to h8 because of bishop e5 check, so that's go to f7. Queen to g7 check. If king takes the knight on e6, rook e1 check.
Practically mate.
Wins the queen at least. Very good for white.
But maybe rook f5 is empty threat. So queen c6, rook f5, queen takes c4.
You can do that. Yes. That's,
Black's kind of getting out of this a little bit.
Yeah, I didn't like queen g3. Rook to e1 would have been very powerful.
Yeah. Nice recovery by Guy here. All right, let's move on. We know the result of that. We know that's okay. We're back to this game. All right, what's the plan if you're black?
Yeah, material technically even, but since rook takes e6 wins for black.
Can black play e5 here? And then try to play e4 and then scoop up the b pawn?
That would be good.
Yeah.
e5, you might have b6, but then e4, b7, queen b6. Again, good for black.
Yeah, black is doing well here.
e5 is a very direct move.
He found it too. These guys know what they're doing. Forged in the fires of the Mechanics Institute Chess Club. These players.
If you go rook to b3.
I want to, let me go back up. Oh, okay. Rook to b3. Queen
to c5, rook to b1, queen takes b5, rook takes b4.
And white tries to make a game of it with the passed c pawn. With the c
yes.
pawn.
Still
That's
very
probably
nice.
the only chance. That might be enough counterplay. Who knows? All right, let's roll down to, and this game is over. It looks like rook e1 is decisive. I'm sure that white resigned here.
Yes, no way out. Too many back rank problems.
Yeah. Okay, so Daniel Wang is in clear for, oh no, is tied for first in the under 1800 section, tied for first with Marty Cortinas.
Okay, with 3.5 points.
With 4 points. 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 4 out of
Oh,
4
4
games.
points.
Yeah, they both have won our 4-0. All right, we're going to go all the way back up to board 1 and see how Elliot is doing here. Oh, this is not good.
Okay, down to a straight 2-pawn disadvantage.
This is
And
I would probably think about resigning here. Although no game was ever won by resigning.
no. No. I don't know, to go rook check. Oh, rookie 2 is happening.
Yeah, I mean, he's hoping for some knight fork that I don't see. Now coming up is rookie 2. That's it. Game over.
Knight G4, H3. No, knight C4. Knight E5. You can keep the rook on at least.
Has Elliot resigned?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Let me put 10 result.
Yeah, that game was definitely
Yeah.
over.
Go. Boom, boom. All right.
Okay. Elliot tries knight G4.
You know, go rookie 2 anyway.
Rookie 2 anyway. But what's wrong with H3?
Knight E5.
Yeah, keep and the king looks silly at B2 all of a sudden.
I mean, that's still fine. H3, knight E5 just goes C5. Easily winning.
Okay. We'll take a look at back. We'll come back to this. He's played the bishop D3 and H4 idea. And Nicholas Wang is close to celebrating his birthday with a win as well, as Kevin's son did. H5
Yeah.
and knight H6 is just a massive threat here.
Everything's guarded for white. You just control the squares.
I mean, I don't see a defense here.
Yeah, no real defense now.
Okay. Black is busting out with C5. Oh, okay, so he can play C4 and that frees the rook up, I guess.
Okay, well played by Akko.
And this game, Black is still thinking after he takes on C6.
Yes, I like your move to take with the queen and bring it back into the game.
He did it.
You did it. So maybe rook takes f5 is the best move. Queen takes c4 and
then rook a5 or something.
bishop e5 and to leave the rook hanging there.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Not sure you.
I like the variation rook a5, queen takes c3, rook takes a3.
Sorry, rook a5.
No, I mean rook f5, queen c4, rook a5, queen c3, rook a3.
Okay.
Hey, it's getting late, and I'm looking for every cheap thing I can find. Um, Rook F5, GF5. What about knight E6 check,
Yes,
Michael?
I think.
King F7 is forced.
Queen G7, maybe you can go Queen E8 or King E8.
Then Queen F8 mate. Oh no,
There's a
there's a
bishop,
bishop at, yeah, that's right.
but you go Queen to G8 check, King E7, and then
Bishop
maybe,
G5. Oh no, they can go King G6. They can go Queen F8, King E6, Rook E1.
or Queen G8, King to E7, and you go Knight takes E8, threatening Rook to E1. Okay, and Mike wants to give up the queen with Queen E4. Um,
Well,
and
White can take on E4, take on G6, and then take on E4 again, right?
yeah, well, actually, we're giving up a lot for the queen. That's true. Giving up 2 rooks and a knight, and
But that's between friends, Nick.
H6, knight E6. Um, yeah, something like rook F5, GF5, knight E6, King F7, Queen G7, King E6, Rook E1, Queen E4. Start with Queen H6 check.
Yeah, I was looking at that myself. Maybe he's get a perpetual.
Well, okay, King F7, Queen H7 check. King goes to E8, I guess. We can get those 3 connected pass pawns.
Exciting.
But yes, rook F5 isn't a great move. Black has come back in it.
Yeah,
That's
Black has
the
come back, storming back, actually.
yes.
White's made a bunch of ill-advised moves, I think. He kind of danced around here. I mean, his position has really deteriorated from this. I mean, this was good. He's moving in. He's making threats. He's, but now he starts withdrawing his pieces. First this way, and the queen goes to this ineffectual square.
Yeah, rook E1 was just very powerful.
Yeah, rook E1 here.
This he's playing without that rook on F1.
Black is totally back in the game. All right, let's move on to this game. How did this happen? Okay,
Oh, now
so Black played
this
E5, Rook D3, Queen C5, C4, Nick.
this is bizarre. I have to say, just gang up on the B pawn instead of this. Now you
Yeah,
lose.
I think he's trying to. I think White's too uncoordinated to play like this. That's a good move, I think. Queen C3. This is a very risky way for White to play, I think. What about queen b4 here? Rook d5? I mean, I see
Well,
white. I see the best white can do is scoop up the b pawn. Probably lose his b pawn.
yeah.
Oh, Nicholas threw away a mate in 3. I'm gonna go up there.
Well, he probably still has a crushing position.
Oh, well, he may have thrown it away, but he's got this one under control. This is mate in 2 from this position.
Okay. Yeah.
Wow. Nicholas, happy birthday, Nicholas. What can I say?
Sing a song for you.
We're here. Queen b4, rook d5. That's not going to work, I don't think.
No, you need to keep a rook back for that.
I think white has missed. He's done weird things with his rook. First, he blocked his pawn here. This is incredibly awkward play. I mean, queen b4 looks like the move. Is there another move that black might be considering here?
Well, I don't see anything nearly as good in that.
Maybe b6 for white, b2. But that looks like. Then rook b1.
Yes, and probably you'll end up.
But both b pawns will go, and then black will that probably have a winning endgame, right? With the 4 versus 2.
Yeah, good chances for the queen and the 4 pawns.
Okay. Let's see. We'll see. We'll find out later what happens.
I think Blake could have got this with the pawn on the queen side instead.
Yeah, he could have. Yeah. Elliot lost his game.
Yes, let's see the finish.
Nicholas Wang
Okay,
won.
he did
Two
play
birthday
that.
boys.
Yeah,
The birthday boys won.
got it done.
And as usual, Aiko is in time pressure and the last game to finish. It seems to be what. But black's got a clear plan here, huh? King c5, and things are looking good for black. I mean, there's still going to be obstacles. There were 2 birthday boys, Richard. We had Nicholas Wang and Kevin Sun, and they both won. So it was a birthday celebration here at the Mechanics. All right, now black can finally get that rook into play, right? With rook e8 or something.
Yes, certainly looks like a good move, rook e8. Just pressure on that knight.
Then if knight c3, king c5, and finally starting to get in. I don't know. This game still has some ways to go, though, for sure.
Oh yeah, maybe rook e8, pawn to f3 to hold the knight.
Yeah.
I go pawn to f5.
Richard had won 6 games in a row until tonight.
Ah,
Wow.
that's a streak.
That's a nice streak. It's difficult to do at any level.
And Richard, we liked your position, but then you started pushing pawns a little too quickly.
You were a little impatient, I think.
Especially that pawn coming from c6 to c5.
F5 right away. I mean, that kind of makes sense. I mean, as long as that G6 pawn is out of bounds, then black is going to quickly play king c5 and knight d5, and things are going to start looking good.
Yes.
Black just needs a little mobility over there, and white's going to be in trouble.
If you can get in king c5, knight d5, those black pawns on the queen side become very threatening.
Okay. Yeah, Richard, when you got your opponent's pieces are across the Rubicon of the fifth line, usually they should be expelled as quickly as possible. You know, and you don't want to leave knights hanging around at G5 too long. General principles, just get that thing out of your face, before it becomes dangerous. Okay, so Ilya has gone back with the rook to b3. Let's see what happened here. Okay, after this, he went back with the rook to b3, hitting the bishop. And then the bishop went all the way back to f8. And the knight went to f3, redistributing the knight to e5. Trying to redistribute the knight.
Okay, that was good at least.
Well, white's extra pawn is getting of smaller significance.
And that rook on b3 is kind of out of play.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we're moving on. Guy is making a big comeback here. And this was the variation we thought might happen. Can white really somehow keep this B pawn? I don't think so.
No.
Maybe he can snatch that h7 pawn.
Ooh, risky.
Yeah. I don't think it's gonna. No, yeah.
Is that
Oh, black plays queen b3. Okay. Is that move relevant to the position? I guess queen a2 is a big threat.
Yeah. Maybe you have to play pawn to b7 here. Oh, but I don't know about
I think
that.
white's overlooking queen a2. That's what I think. Oh, he's got to play rook a7 now. Oh no, but then queen c2. White's messed this up. But wait a minute.
Yeah.
The queen is actually misplaced on b1 after it takes the rook, right?
Ha ha ha. What a move. Queen c2, pawn to b7.
Yeah.
Wow. Queen takes b1, check, king to h2, and white wins the game.
Incredible.
Well, no, sorry, doesn't win because you give a queen back with queen to g1, check, queen takes, and then get a new queen.
And then black wins.
Black should win, yes.
Wins by advancing the pawns. Yeah, by advancing the e4 pawn. Now he just plays queen takes b6, and white has completely messed this up, I guess.
Rook h4, just cut him off with pawn to e4.
Yeah. Black's winning. It's funny.
Well,
It's funny how in this position, Nick, um, uh, we didn't really take a look at queen b6. It was like,
oh, queen c2 definitely wins.
yeah, but queen b6 is kind of simpler and maybe better.
Yeah, but it could get complicated. Is that if that rook can somehow? Oh, okay, nice move. Back, and now the rook can go to d8 check into d1. So got a bit complicated. Now
Should have played pawn to e4 after rook h4. But maybe white would have had the same defense.
yeah, it's
What about king e7 here? Is there a way to prevent the rook from coming back to the first rank?
king e7, rook h. Oh, okay, rook h7 check, king to e6. Yes, get it off the
Very, very sophisticated kind of idea.
king e7.
King e7, stopping rook d8 and rook d1. I'm not sure of the time situation. The clock seemed to have gone into some kind of limbo, but let's run up to board. Well, we know what happened on board 1 and board 2 and board 3, and board 4 is still going on here. Uh-oh.
More play.
Black is jettisoning the king side in order to try to take the queen side. But rook d2.
Oh, wow.
Rook d2.
Now maybe you want to play rook to d2 instead of knight g6.
Yeah.
e2.
Well, thank you, Richard. Richard says we express the ups and downs of emotion during a game. That's what I say.
Definitely these games have their ups and downs.
Yeah, they do. Indeed. Oh, this is the Guy Argo game. Black played knight f7. Oops. Black played knight f7 to guard against knight e5, and white played into d4. So if queen takes c4, knight takes f5.
Yeah, it's nice to take that pawn with the knight.
White's barely maintaining his pawn advantage here.
But queen f6 and black is happy enough.
Okay, I agree. Guy has completely come back in this game, and white has been pretty much without a plan for the last 10 moves, I would say. And black played king d7 instead of king e7, and after check played king e6, And white just gave up here with rook g6.
And he's wanting to play takes b2 and play a, but that past white e pawn
Yeah,
will
this is
easily
this
win
is
the game.
Well, this was a tough game, but black is winning this clearly here. That e pawn is going to cost white the rook. Let's see, which games do we still have going on here? We have Aiko, who's decided to defend with rook g8. I think this, if this is the way black is going to play, this may not be a win anymore.
That knight on f4 is pretty good. Black tied down like that.
With a minute on the clock, too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so let's see where black went. Maybe f5 was really the wrong move here. Rook e8 here looks better.
Yes, instead of weakening the pawn.
And if knight d6, rook d8, taking advantage of a couple of tactical ideas like that, being able to pin on the file.
But after f5, what happened?
White played knight to g5.
And then he didn't go rook e8.
This is a mistake, king c5, because
King
he
c5 is a
overlooks knight
definite
e6
mistake.
check. So he should play
Yes.
rook e8.
Yeah, just terrible move, king c5.
Yeah, king c5 is a blunder, knight e6 check, the king goes back, and the knight is beautifully positioned there. Black played rook e8, which is a good idea, but white played back to there. And now maybe c3, intending knight c4. No, then rook c2, I guess.
Well, first defending makes sense.
Yeah. King g2. Yeah.
Marjorie's game.
Yeah. We have the same players always finishing last. Last.
Yeah, there, you know.
Aiko and Guy.
What's this one? Yeah.
Good win for Ezra.
Yeah.
They squeeze out the last drop.
Aiko and Guy, they just used their time up.
Hey, thanks everybody who's sticking with us. We're following only 2 games now in this in round 4 of this tournament, and Guy has played Queen f6.
22 minutes left. He's got plenty of time.
And Black looks like he's probably better now.
Yes, just a very comfortable position.
Amazing turnaround. And White made as usual, didn't pay attention to the development of his forces. The rook at f1 could have been involved in the game earlier and wasn't. Rick Hacka is not good enough, huh? I like it. There's nothing wrong with Rick Hacka. So Nick, let's take a look at Aiko's game again.
This is how you play so carefully to get a pawn, but then low on time, and it's hard to play with a minute and a half. And James is a fine player, so the opposition is good.
Yeah, this reminds me, there was a character I'm reading, and his name is Rick O'Shea, right? You know, like Rick O'Shea. So it's called Ricochet, you know? So that kind of reminds me of. King H2 is a canny little move. I thought King G2 would have been simpler. And what's Black's plan here? He can't play C3 because of Rook C2, right?
Right.
So if he plays King B5, maybe he's running into Rook G6. Then maybe C3.
Yeah, King H2 is somehow clever. You know, just giving Black a move.
Yeah, it is a clever move. It
just not,
is.
and maybe just play 5, allow 96 check.
Ooh, but knight G7 is a good move. The idea of playing knight E5. I like that.
And B5 to guard things.
Good move. And it makes King H2 look funny.
Yes.
King G2 now looks like it was a better move.
King H2 was just over finesse. I mean, it just,
yeah.
in the end games, the kings belong in the center.
Yeah, white should have been hustling the king up towards the center. Ooh, now Black's going to be able to play B5 and maybe, but knight E5 is a nice idea too.
Oh yes, Rook to E2 by white.
Trying to play, yes.
And to play Rook E6.
Details.
Maybe you play B5.
It's getting tactical. It's getting tactical. Black breaks through on the queen side with a double pawn sacrifice.
$53 seconds. That's going to be packed.
Yeah. Aiko loves his time pressure.
Yes, he's addicted.
Okay, so white throws in H4 and
yeah, good safe move.
Black's going to regain his pawn with Rook takes C4, and we got a battle ahead of us.
And then Ilya should finally bring the other rook into play. Rook E1.
Yeah.
And it's still about even.
How about that? Richard, what do you mean? Does it help them see better in the intensity or just feel better? Who's that?
The time pressure.
Oh, the time pressure. Nick, you were a bit of a time pressure addict yourself.
I was an addict, yes. It's that you really want to see the moves and play the right moves until you're forcing yourself to just play quickly. And so it is a mistake, but you can't help yourself.
Right. And excuse me if I'm wrong, but I mean, I don't think any of the world champions have had issues with time trouble.
No, you are very right. They're much too practical for that.
Yeah, it's a kind of a practical aspect too that they have. I mean, there were games when they would get into time trouble. Botvinnik particularly, I think, was if you read comments, Botvinnik seemed to be a player that got into time trouble more than, and Bronstein, of course.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
Bronstein.
So, but Bronstein was never world champion, even though I think of him as one of the world champions.
Yeah, he's sort of like a co-world champion.
Yeah.
Who else got in time pressure? Korchnoi, I think.
Korchnoi.
He was really good in time pressure.
Right. Right.
Um,
And I guess Walter Brown was pretty good in time pressure, right?
yeah,
How about
and yes,
Reshevsky? Reshevsky must have been good in time pressure.
yeah,
I mean, helped along sometimes by a little, razzle dazzle, right? The hand behind the clock kind of thing.
yeah, he had his ways, old Sammy.
Grishuk. Oh,
Oh yes,
yeah,
Risha,
Grishuk.
absolute addict,
Yeah.
and really good in the time pressure.
Oh, yeah. So it's a little bit of a gambling thing, but like you said, Richard, I think it can help some players um, focus better, maybe at a
And
critical point.
especially if a player is playing very well in the time pressure, it unnerves the opponent. You're thinking, oh, I should win having so much extra time.
On the other hand, how many games have you seen the annotation where the player blunders on the 40th move? I mean, over and over and over again. So I have a feeling, however much you try to justify it, it's really not that. It's not good.
No,
It's like cigarettes taste good, but they kill you.
yes.
Same kind of thing, I think. So,
So let's turn back to Akko's game.
yeah.
You know, time pressure addicts.
Okay, so after 97, we had Rookie 2, Knight C5, the safe move. F3, because Black was going to play Knight E4, I think.
Yes.
B5, King G2. And already we're starting to look at double pawn sacrifices for Black, right? Maybe in some distant future. B4 and breakthrough sacrifices. Knight D3.
Well, yes. Now that's a move.
So if takes, Rook D2, Rook D8, King F2, King C5, King E3, King C4, I think Black looks like he's doing okay there. Although it might be difficult to make progress, I don't know. Dangerous position for White, I think, still. What do you think, Nick?
I think White is in danger. Absolutely. Maybe White can try Rook to E6 check.
Wow, is that dangerous? King D7? And then,
Rook B6.
Rook goes to B6.
Allow him to double your pawns, but you're winning your.
Yeah. So, King C5?
The king c5. No. Yeah, that's knight takes g6, pawn to b4 or something.
Or knight takes g6, maybe knight takes b2.
Yes. Yes.
Wow. Yeah, this is the black's pawn formation is just, there's something about it. It's like spikes in his hands, right? You know, the g6, h5, f5. They're an interesting pawn formation over there. Inverted salience. All right, let's zoom up to the other game. Whoops, or zoom down. White did indeed get his rook into play with rook e1. Black traded, and black is in the think tank here. So black loses the exchange if he plays rook c4, or does he? I think he does.
Rook c4, what move do you play?
I was going to play rook check and knight takes f5 check.
Okay, yes, and just take the
And even,
rook
yeah,
on c4.
it doesn't look like you have like rook g1 and queen h4 because the queen defends on the fourth rank.
Yes.
So black plays queen d6. That makes sense.
Guy is playing very tough, solid chess.
Yeah, yeah, Guy is really, he's playing some moves now. I mean, white has not impressed in the last 15 moves. It's just, he's still up a pawn, but black is on the verge of regaining it with a better position.
I'll be back in 1 minute.
Yeah. All right, we're going to switch to the ACO game where black is in serious time trouble. 47 seconds left. Of course, with the delay, 5-second delay, which is, to me, is incredibly nerve-wracking delay compared to increment. I mean, you know, if you're at your time is just, you can never get it back. So it's just frightening. And the queens have come off, and white is about to lose the c4 pawn with an inferior pawn structure on the queen side. A really nice comeback by Guy in this game. And white just pitches the pawn with c5. I don't know how you fit a good move into a 5 second delay. I mean, that's the question. 5 second delay is scary. All right, we're going to roll quickly to this game, and boy, has this reached a fever pitch here. After knight d3, white played sort of an echo move of that with knight e6, and black blasts through with b4. And that cost him more than 5 seconds. Well, I mean, look at it this way. If you don't make a move in under 5 seconds, then it just goes away. Your time goes away. I do, yeah. I find delay, and I think that all players find it confusing. Delay, I think. Increment is easier for the human brain to understand, I think. What do you think, Nick?
Yes, I agree. It's the delay, then when it really does run down. And then when you have about 3 seconds.
Yeah, it's just more difficult to get your mind around, oh, I have to make a move within a certain amount of time rather than knowing that if you make a move, you've kind of reset the clock in a sense. There's no resetting. It's just all draining away with the delay, time control. It's almost better. It's almost better to have no delay or increment than to have just delay.
Jim Ratliff says if you have 30-second increment like FIDE, which we would think would be great, but we have to finish the games in the Tuesday night marathon. So 30-second increment could go on for a long, long time.
Great move here, I think, rook b8. Black is really aiming towards the queen side here. And knight d4 check, king d5 seems to be just about winning for black. I think this game is going Aiko's way.
Okay, knight d4 check, king d5, knight to c2, guarding the b pawn, and you can maybe take knight takes.
Wow.
b2, knight e3 check, king d4. Yeah, it's those black pawns are getting really dangerous.
And all of black's pieces are working, Nick.
Yes. All doing a good job.
Yeah, and that's a good point too. That the clock counts down the 5. It's like there's no time elapsing, and then suddenly, yeah, I find delay confusing.
Well, this is interesting. Akko still has 39 seconds, so that's really enough. If we were down to 10 seconds with a winning position, hard to play. This one, there's probably enough time to convert the point.
As long as you play the obvious moves quickly. That's if there is such a thing as an obvious move in chess. I'm not certain that there is.
Yeah. Too often, the obvious move is a blunder.
Yes.
And James is trying to be tricky here, but I mean, knight c2, and you might hope that Akko doesn't go knight takes b2. But he's probably calculating it right now on James's time.
I think the reason that the mechanics is using the delay is we have a janitorial service that comes into the building, and we have to pretty much be out by 11 o'clock. There's no way to keep things going after 11. So, if we give increment, there'll be that one game that lasts forever, you know?
That always is, yes.
Yeah.
Like Murphy's Law of tournament directing. Possible to have one game dragging out so long it'll happen.
So does White have, I mean, White looks like he's in trouble here. Good game by Akko. Knight c2. And then what, knight b2 or knight b4?
Oh, you could also go knight b4. Yeah, I would go knight b2 to get those passed pawns.
And if knight e3, check.
King to d4.
And then I guess knight f5 check, and rook b2 is just hopeless with the two passed pawns. So that doesn't look good for White.
No, it's a really hard choice here for James. I mean, you have two places the knight can go, e6 or c2. Knight e6 really looks hard.
I mean, so going back here, it looks like the tide might have turned here with knight d3.
Yeah.
And maybe, okay. Well, we're going to roll up here to, well, I mean, this makes sense. Black is a pawn ahead. You know, I mean, he's finally been able to bust out. So, and here is Guy Argo's game versus Ilya Gimmelfarb. Black has played a very good game here.
It traded into an end game. That's nice for Guy. That was the one danger that his king wasn't as safe. But now he just has better pawns.
Knight e6 might be some problematic for Black, though.
You want to attack even in the end game. Knight on g5.
There might even be some sneaky tactic like rook b7 and knight d8 check.
Yes. Probably knight e6, you should go rook d5.
Kinchmine says here, one game had incorrectly given themselves a huge increment, and of course they held up the whole tournament. Yeah. There used to be that thing with the old manual clocks too, where the times were not exact like they are now in that sense, and sometimes there'd be a game that was lagging far behind the other games, even though the clocks had been started on time.
The clocks were slow.
Yeah. Maybe the time to strike was with knight e6. Now Black can play b6 and get another little worry out of the way.
Yes, yes. It's maybe rook e5.
Going on an adventure.
Okay, wants to win that c pawn. Rook e5. Oh, that's such a square for that rook. Kind of really trapped. It has to guard the c3 pawn.
Yeah. No,
Oh,
this is going black's way, but for sure now.
yes.
All right, he's trying to do the Nigel Short King here with King G5 and
Yeah, positionally great for black, but yeah, I like that Ilya's playing actively on the king side.
ooh, now H5. No, I guess that doesn't work quite. Yeah, funny game here.
I mean, white should be able to draw with proper play, but with, oh my God, 1 minute left, very hard to play.
Well, that's nothing compared to old Aiko here with he played knight c2. He took on b4 rather than b2. My mistake and move. Maybe check. The knight goes back to d3. Maybe white shouldn't have checked.
Yeah, that's, oh, that check was bad.
Checked again. Rook c2 is just met by rook takes b2. This game is over, just about.
Oh, you have to play knight to d1.
Knight d1, good move, Nick.
And then there's probably a tactic, knight takes b2.
Yes.
So if you take with the, oh, no, sorry, the knight takes on b2 and there's check. So no, knight d1, knight b2 doesn't work.
Maybe he can prepare it. No, I guess not.
Yeah, you'll have to go slowly. Knight d1, maybe rook to b3 and go pawn to a3. That good black king should be a winning position. Yeah, I think you can compare it. Knight to d1, or rook b3 is really good. And that white king is just not in the game. Oh, king d4. That's a lot. Well, all right, not a bad move. It controls a lot there. What can white do?
King f1.
King f1, rook to b2, king e2, pawn to a3, trade. Yeah, that's
You know, I think black might have been able to even sacrifice the rook and knight and win with the king and the rook in the last position. He gets to play a3 or c3.
Which move
Instead of king d4, maybe he could have taken on b2.
But if you take with the knight, knight takes b2.
And
Threatening knight
then rook takes b2. Rook takes b2,
Ooh.
a3. Maybe not.
Rook back to b8. and you go
Yeah.
c3.
Maybe not.
Interesting.
So if king f1, rook e8, maybe? Somehow
Yeah,
black should be able to win this.
although it's safest just to stay a pawn ahead. So if you miscalculate,
So he's just going to play, he's just going to try to win a piece. I suppose. And now there's moves like, what, a3 takes and then c3. It's funny, with king d4, black kind of put himself in a pin. It's weird.
yes. Okay, but you can go. Okay, king c5, not bad.
Black should be able to figure something out here.
Yes, because it's so hard for white to do anything. White king can't cross on the third rank. The rook's dropped. And over here, 9 seconds left for Ilya.
And the white rook is imprisoned at a3, at least temporarily.
But it's very hard to do anything for black.
Excuse me.
Gesundheit. A good move, rook to c8. Got in h5. That's
Like you said, Nick, this game could easily peter out to a draw. Now rook a4 brings the rook back into the game. For some reason, he doesn't want to do that.
yes, rook a4 would have been objectively a draw. Oh, but knight has come in. And that's annoying. Knight to d2. Hey, yeah, ouch, winning a pawn. Rook to e3 check.
Or knight e4 check. Right.
Oh, maybe even better.
That's 2 pawns, Nick. Oh, for some reason, I've gotten a sneezing here. Okay, I'm going to move quickly to this game.
Problem is knight takes a2, knight c6 was 2 pawns down. Oh, what happened over here? Ilya decided he had to go for it. Move those inside pawns up. I kind of like that. You got to pass h pawn. Certainly better than a slow death. Oh, now pawn to c3. Looks like
h5. White's got to go for it here.
actually pawn to a3 would have been a killer.
Yeah.
Because of the back rank.
Nicely seen. Yeah. Oh, but White's got knight e4 check. But then king
into
d4.
or
Yeah. You still got it, right?
still has pawn to
Black is just going to sneak around and take the H pawn.
and the time is evening up.
Yeah. Exciting game. Another exciting game. Two exciting games, Nick.
But
Wait a
what
minute.
happened to the black king?
Yes, exactly.
Could we go back a few moves in this?
Okay. King g6 is illegal, but black won the game. So I'm assuming black played king g7. And then on rook check probably played king f7 or one on time. It's very
King
likely.
f7, yes, and gets out of the checks.
Yeah.
And then you have
Well, nice
Check.
game by Gallardo, got right back into the game and won. White's indecisive play was to me, the factor here.
yes, it's just a great position that Ilya had, but he just slowly just let guy back into the game, and each 5 moves it was better for the black side. Oh wow, okay.
Nice game by Aiko here. It looks like he's closing it out here.
Probably you just get a rook ending here. Oh, well, that knight check didn't help white at all.
No.
Now rook takes b2 will be okay. Now, are there any tricks?
King
King
g3, knight
g3.
e3, rook b2, knight f5 check. Is that a draw?
Is that checkmate?
Oh my god, it's checkmate. Oh my god.
Oh my God, 93 with this
Oh my
terrible,
God.
terrible threat.
But black has mate in one with rook b1 check.
Yeah. And,
Oh, he did rook c4. Why didn't he go 93? He just got 93. He threatened.
But black would have rook b1 mate.
White's flag.
No, that was if you.
Oh, I see. Yeah, right. Instead of rook c4. But anyway, white's flag fell, Nick.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And it's all over, folks, but the shouting. And
It used to be the crying,
it's all over, but the crying, the shouting, the tears.
the whining.
Thanks, everybody, for sticking with us this evening. I'm Paul Whitehead, and from Nick DeFermian and the Mechanics Institute Chess Club. Good night, everybody, and thank you. I'm going to have Abel sign me out.
And
We'll see you on Thursday.
not this Thursday, but next Thursday.
Not this Thursday, but next Thursday.
And hopefully we see everyone at the Dolan this weekend.
The Dolan.
Saturday.
Yeah.
Bye, everyone.